Cooking with Pat.
Welcome back to Cooking with Pat. We have another great appetizer that everybody's gonna love. Hanky Pankies. So we have hot sausage, regular sausage, Velveeta cheese cut up in chunks, and a little bit of oregano and garlic. Pretty easy. We're gonna put it on the pit boss, and I'll show you how we finish it off with some rye bread and a little trick at the end. Everybody's gonna love it. Stay tuned. Getting ready to brown the meat. Put a little Pam on the griddle. We're gonna brown it, and then once we get the meat all browned and in the small pieces, then we'll drain the grease, put the cheese on it, put the spices, and then we'll get it ready for the bread. So as you can see, the sausage is starting to brown. We're going to put some of our seasoning all over, and it'll kind of mix it in as it cooks. So the meat's browned, drained off some of the grease. Now we start putting the cheese on here. And then we'll start folding it in and make it nice and gooey. I turn the griddle down to low just so it doesn't burn the cheese. We just want it to melt, not to burn. And then just kind of fold it in and let the heat do its thing. As you can see, we got everything pretty much mixed up. Cheese is melted. It'll still melt. I'm going to get it off the griddle. I just don't want it to burn. And it'll still melt in the bowl. And then we'll get our bread ready on the griddle. And we'll put this meat and cheese on it. And it'll brown everything up. So what I'm doing now is just putting a little bit of butter on here for the bread. I like the small rye bread, makes it easy, but I've had a tough time finding it, so I found French bread at Kroger's, which works just as well. But if you can find a little rye bread, it works great. So what I'm going to do is brown it on one side, turn it over, and then put the meat on the other side. These are getting brown on one side, so I'm going to turn them over. Oh, thought it got away from me. And then for the meat. What I do is I just take a couple forks, put some on, let it melt. Doesn't take much. Hanky Pankies are getting done. We're just going to brown. Just put a little browning on the top of them. As you can tell, Hanky Pankies, we used the torch for the top and got a nice golden brown, crispy throughout. What's nice about this recipe is you can do 60 to 65 of the small ones. And as you can see, the bigger French bread, I put a little bit more on because that's how I like it. But you can make a lot of Hanky Pankies with this recipe. And even if you don't use them all, put it in the freezer, put them on the bread, put them in the freezer, and then you can just pull them out, put them in the oven and broil them. They're great. They're great for breakfast, put eggs on them. So it's a multi-purpose appetizer. Thanks for watching. Cooking with Pat. Spatula's up.